It's beer time, folks. I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's beer review. Got a couple of things going on with this one. This is one, a viewer suggestion. Thank you, John, for the idea. And two, a beer from one of the breweries that was a featured brewery at this past weekend's Tap into Summer Beer Festival in Bangor, Maine. So this is from Sea Dog, also out of Maine. Trying to remember. Portland. I was going to say, I know they're not out of Bangor. Sea Dog's been doing a lot of really great beers for a really long time, and this is their Wild Blueberry. I believe it's also called Blue Paw, but that's an unofficial title. It's basically just Sea Dog Wild Blueberry. Now, so let's crack into this Wild Blueberry. Give you some thoughts on this one. While I'm pouring this out, make sure to hit me up with a like and a share and subscribe. That way you'll get a notification every time I post a new beer review. Hopefully you're getting a lot of value out of these. There we go. Now, if I were in a brew pub or if I were somewhere nice and fancy, or even if I had planned ahead on this one, I would have some frozen blueberries to float in this, because that's actually the best way to serve this in the summer. Keeps it nice and cool, but doesn't water down the beer, and it adds a little extra blueberry flavor, especially if they're native Maine blueberries, which is all that goes into this brew as far as I understand it. So what we have here is we have a very nice, light-colored, extremely effervescent beer. That is bubbling up a lot. Take a good look at that. It actually just looks really, really bubbly. It's very fun. I've actually seen champagnes with fewer bubbles cavitating out of them than this, which means that this is going to be a pretty, well, maybe not a light mouthfeel beer, but it's going to have a lot of, I don't know how to describe it. It's going to be very effervescent anyway. It's got an interesting color. I don't know if you saw that on the camera, but it's almost a brownish yellow, if that makes any sense. So it's a very light pale yellow, but tinged with just a hint of brown or amber. This is a beautiful, beautiful beer to look at for both of those reasons, the color and the effervescence. So enough being transfixed by it. Oh, that's blueberry. Maybe a slight bit of hoppy bitterness and some graininess coming off of there, but that aroma is all blueberry, and that's awesome. The blueberry is very upfront and forward in the aroma, but it's and when you taste it, it's actually in the aftertaste. Now, it's distinctly a beer. It's got a medium light, towards the really light end mouthfeel. I'm not quite ready to call it light because it doesn't, it's got a little bit of substance to it. But it does go down very, very easy. It's very bubbly. I'm also feeling that little bitty bubbles coming off and bursting on my tongue. Yeah, getting a little descriptive there. But the blueberry that you get in the aroma is actually subdued in the taste until the aftertaste comes up, and that's where you really get the blueberry flavor, and it's pretty strong. Not as strong a blueberry taste as a blueberry aroma, but the beer itself it's got some substance to it, but it doesn't interfere with that blueberry flavor. I mean, it's just a general beer flavor. No particular hop notes, no particular grainy elements jumping out at me. At first, it's just beer, but then that blueberry comes up in the aftertaste and gives it the fruited flavor that really is all you're going to get out of this. Now, I'm not generally a fan of fruited beers. You know, they got to do something really special to impress me. But the fact that what they've got here is a beer where you really do taste the fruitiness. You're not getting a lot of other flavors interfering with that. It's a subdued hop characteristic. It's a subdued malt characteristic. They've really put that fruit forward, even though it only comes through in the aftertaste. That is the primary flavor there, other than just beer. For that simple fact alone, the fact that it's mostly a fruit experience, the looks of this beer, the fact that it's really easy to drink, and the fact that this is I mean, it's not labeled as a summer beer, but this is a great summer beer as far as I'm concerned. Because of the fact that it's got that nice light to medium mouthfeel. It's very bubbly, it's smooth, easy to drink, and then it has that fruit forward in the aftertaste. This one for me is coming in at a 4 out of 5. I was hovering between a 3.5 and a 4 for a minute there, but as I drink it, it just becomes more and more drinkable, and I got to put this at a solid 4 out of 5. It's a really great beer. You know, nothing that's just blowing me away or really coming forward and impressing me about it, other than the fact that they managed to brew a beer that's got a fruity taste where none of the beer elements interfere with it. They don't necessarily complement it or play off of it, but they don't interfere with it either. It's just beer followed by blueberry and nothing coming between the two, so you get both of those flavors. Definitely a good beer, and you should try it for yourself. Let me know what you think down in the comments or the email link down below. I'll also throw a quick little user poll up here in the corner. Make sure you click on that and rate the beer 1 to 5. Let me know what you think there. I like seeing the interaction, see how I calibrate with the general public. Till next time, folks. Cheers. Now, a little while back, we did a bit of a comparison with the Not Your Father's Hard Root Beer review.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for the beer, man. So, highly recommended by you. The Extreme Beer Fest this weekend. We'll be able to get a hold of, I believe it's the American